Admiral Seniavin was a Admiral Ushakov-class coastal defense ship built for Imperial Russian Navy during the 1890s. She was one of 8 Russian pre-dreadnought battleships captured by the Imperial Japanese Navy from the Russians during the Russo-Japanese War of 1904–1905. She subsequently served in the Japanese Navy under the name Mishima until sunk as a target in 1936. In Russian service, initially assigned to the Russian Baltic Fleet, she was later reclassed as a coastal defense ship. The 3 obsolete Ushakovs were rejected for inclusion in the 2nd Pacific Squadron assembled by Admiral Seniavin Rozhestvinsky to reinforce the existing Russian squadron based at Port Arthur after the outbreak of the Russo-Japanese War, as Rozhestvinsky felt they were unsuitable for such an extreme blue water operation. Nevertheless, all 3 were selected to form part of Admiral Nebogitov's 3rd Pacific Squadron, which was subsequently sent out to reinforce Rozhestvinsky on his journey to the Far East after political agitation following his departure. This 3rd Pacific Squadron transited the Suez Canal, and the 2 Russian squadrons rendezvoused at Cam Bay after a cruise that became known as the Voyage of the Damned, and from the Rozhestvinsky set course through the South China Sea towards the Korea Strait, where they were discovered by the Japanese. At the resulting Battle of Tsushima, the 3 ships survived the first phase of the engagement on the evening of the 27th of May, largely due to the Japanese concentrating their efforts on Rozhestvinsky's modern battleships, and the subsequent almost total destruction left the Russian fleet in tatters. Nebogitov's 3rd Division was largely able to keep itself together during the night, although Admiral Seniavin's sister ship Admiral Ushakov strayed from formation and sunk by Japanese torpedoes. The morning of the 28th of May found the Russian survivors surrounded by an apparently undamaged Japanese force, and Nebogitov surrendered. Thus Admiral Seniavin and General Admiral Graf Apraksin were captured as prizes of war. Japanese service. General Admiral Graf Apraksin was commissioned into the Imperial Japanese Navy under the name Okinoshima, and Admiral Seniavin became the 2nd-class coastal defense vessel Mishima. Mishima was named for the small island of Mishima offshore from Haji in Yamaguchi Prefecture, not far from the location of the Battle of Tsushima. Mishima was part of the Japanese Second Fleet in World War I, participating in the Battle of Tsingtao against the small number of Imperial German Navy ships left behind by Admiral von Spee's East Asia Squadron. After the end of the war, Mishima supported the Japanese Siberian intervention against the Bolshevik Red Army in eastern Russia by covering the landings of Japanese forces, and by acting as an icebreaker to keep the sea lanes between Japan and Vladivostok open. On the 1st of April 1921, Mishima was reclassified as a submarine tender. Mishima was decommissioned on the 10th of October 1935. She was expended as a gunnery target and sunk in September 1936 off Kushima, Miyazaki.